When you're performing, what are some of the most memorable moments that you have on stage?
Well, it's always nice to play in front of a really large, appreciative crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically, anytime I've done that, and
Okay.
I have a number, I've toured a fair amount. Probably the biggest crowd tour I've ever done was when I toured Japan with the Total Experience Gospel Choir. That was a while ago, it was like 2010. But we were playing large venues, couple thousand people venues every night for almost 3 weeks. So those are amazing because you show up and tons of people there, you're signing autographs, you've got a green room with all kinds of food, super nice hotel, you know. Those kinds of gigs, for obvious reasons, are kind of my favorite gigs because, well, why wouldn't they be? But I've also played gigs. I remember one time driving from Chicago to Kansas City, Missouri, and playing a gig the same day to nobody, literally nobody. It was us and the person standing behind the bar, not pouring drinks because there was nobody in the bar. And then waking up and driving to Denver, Colorado, and playing again for nobody, right? So that's like driving halfway across the country in 2 days and playing 2 shows for 0 people. That's cool too, definitely memorable. I'll never forget those gigs and those kinds of tours. But I think it's honestly the memorable, if a gig's memorable or not will just depend on how many people are there, like the crowd size, or occasionally the musicians that I'm playing with. When I get an opportunity to play with really, really world-class, high-level musicians, I'll remember those gigs, regardless of how many people are there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which happens from time to time. Yeah.
And so do you have any humiliating moments on stage?
I have one story I like to tell. Same group, Total Experience Gospel Choir. I was playing at the Gorge Amphitheater for a festival that they do there called Sasquatch. It's a summer festival. And we were playing on the main stage. We were opening up for Grandmaster Flash. So main stage, I don't know how many people that is, but I want to say it's something like 10,000 people. Very, very large audience. And it's the second last song, something like that. And the director decides that she would not only call I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly, which is a song that I had never played before. I've been playing in the group for 2 years. I had never played this song. I didn't even know the choir knew it. Not only was she going to call I Believe I Can Fly, she was actually going to get up from the piano and walk in front of the choir and just direct the choir and not play the piano part. So I was like, cool, I'm just not going to play on this song. I don't know it. There's nobody playing piano, so I can't listen to get the chords. And she starts going, play! Just play, you got it! Just play the song! I didn't even know what key we were in, and stupidly, because I was young, I was probably 21 years old, I started playing. In the wrong key. Not knowing the song. And there was a good minute there where the entire 10,000 people at Sasquatch were like, that bass player is completely ruining I Believe I Can Fly. This is not good. I was pretty humiliated. I think that was the last song. I think we stopped and then it was like, all right, Grandmaster Flash is up next. And I just left the stage. And I stopped playing with that group shortly after. And I don't know if it was because of that experience. I didn't tell myself it was, but subconsciously it might have been because of that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty humiliating.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things happen. Have you gotten over it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me at all. I had another one similar to that last year at a final concert for a high school choir that I got hired to be this featured artist for, and just made a big mistake in front of everybody. Doesn't bother me at all anymore. Not at all.
And so what advice do you have for aspiring musicians? Because getting on stage can be the most nerve-wracking thing.
Man, that I don't know. I hate to say it. I would just, I'd say the same thing that I tell my students, which is just try really hard to not care about what other people think. But that's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. I think, for me, it took having a number of really, really bad performances and realizing that when that happens, nothing bad happens. Or if something bad happens, you don't know that it's happening because it's not directly happening. It would only happen in the form of a missed opportunity or somebody saying something behind your back, right? You're never going to experience that. So there's really no negative consequences for you. The other thing that I like to remember is this. it's the old Bob Marley thing. Is one good thing about music is when it hits you, you feel no pain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you play a bad gig, everything's fine, right?
Nice.
Singing a wrong note, no pain occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing negative happens. So
Yeah.
that can be helpful.